In this example, we'll illustrate the graphical method of solving systems with two variables. We want to solve the system that consists of the equation 4x minus 2y is equal 10 and x plus y is equal 1. Since each equation represents a straight line, we'll graph each equation. So the first equation is the equation 4x minus 2y is equal 10. To graph this equation, we'll write it in the slope-intercept form. So let's solve it for y. We'll add 2y to both sides and subtract 10. So we'll have 4x minus 10 is equal to y. And divide now both sides by 2 and we'll get y is equal to x minus 5. So this equation has y-intercept 0, negative 5, and the slope is 2 or 2 over 1. So we'll start with plotting the y-intercept, so it's 0, negative 5, and the slope is 2, so we're going to rise 2 and run 1. We have 1 point, and we can graph the line that represents the first equation. So the set of the points on that line satisfies the equation 4x minus 2y is equal 10. Now let's look at the second equation. The second equation is x plus y is equal 1. This one will solve also for y, and we'll get y is equal negative x plus 1. Here the y-intercept for that line is 0, 1, and the slope is negative 1, so we can write it as negative 1 over 1, which represents rise and run. So we'll graph the second equation, y-intercept 0, 1, and the slope is negative 1, so we'll rise negative 1, run 1, and we'll have the second line. So that line represents the set of all the points that satisfy the second equation. So if we want the point that will satisfy both equations, we are looking for the intersection point. And that intersection point is clearly visible here. It is the point 2 and negative 1. This is the intersection point, and this is the solution. And that solution is point 2, negative 1. Not all systems can be solved using graphical method. If the lines do not intersect at the point that is the intersection of grid lines, then we cannot find the exact solution. We can find approximate solution, or we can check that the solution exists, but will not be able to read from the graph the exact values.